It's debate night, so if the Mar-a-Lago walls were ever at risk of a ketchup beating, yeah, it's tonight, especially after this ad just aired on Fox News.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. America's ready for a new chapter. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Stop! He's already dead.
You see, as both candidates were likely deep in debate prep, and by both candidates I mean Kamala Harris, while Trump and his cronies were trying to combat the Cat Ladies for Kamala movement by spreading a vile and widely debunked claim that migrants in Ohio are eating cats. Yes, this is a real tweet from the House GOP account.
What in the hell is this? The chairman tweets, "Protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio," because he goes down some crazy rabbit hole, completely debunked that aliens are eating pets? My God, are you okay, Mr. Chairman? Because last year, for a very long time, you tweeted and promoted Kanye West as he was calling for genocide against the Jews, and you kept it up. And now, when we have victims coming here, you're tweeting this nonsense. I don't know why you would do this. I hope you're okay. I don't know if the aliens who are eating your ducks are in the room with us right now.
But just as each network geared up for the debate and how they'll cover it, Fox News had the honour of unveiling this ad for their audience to ponder. An ad that featured former President Barack Obama tearing into former President Donald Trump and his obsession over crowd sizes, which once again allowed us to enjoy the zinger of all zingers.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. It should come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's highest ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. America's ready for a new chapter. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
And this comes after a slew of ads have wreaked havoc on the Trump campaign as we near the debate, highlighting not only how unhinged his most recent ramblings have been, but the sheer lack of direction he has for the country. I mean, he has outlined nothing regarding where he sees this country going in the next 4 years. It's just attack after attack, insults and ad hominem.
Why do you think Kamala Harris has a 14-point lead in the gender gap among women?
I think it's because Donald Trump and J.D. Vance need to change the way they speak about women. You don't need to call Kamala dumb. She didn't get this far, just by accident. She's here. That's what it is. She's a prosecutor. You don't need to go and talk about intelligence or looks or anything else. Just focus on the policies. When you call even a Democrat woman dumb, Republican women get their backs up too.
Which, as Obama highlighted before when referring to Donald Trump and Republicans as a whole, they attack because it's easy to tear something down. It's a lot harder to build something, especially when you inherited an absolute train wreck.
And before I introduce him, I just want to say, when he was the doctor at the White House, they asked him, who's healthier? Who's a better physical specimen? Is it Trump or is it Obama? And he said, it's not even close. It's Donald Trump, not even close.
I mean, the truth of the matter is actually Trump hasn't gotten a lot. He's torn some stuff down. There's no law that he's passed that is transformative in this country. He passed a tax cut to give away some more money to rich folks, which Republicans have been doing that for years. But you can't name a piece of legislation that he's done that has actually changed the country, even for his own constituencies. So it's always easier to tear down than build up.
Which makes what the Biden-Harris administration have accomplished even more astounding.
Don't forget where we were. Under Donald Trump, we reached 14.8% unemployment. We've had the lowest black unemployment, Hispanic unemployment, unemployment for women and those that are disabled in American history. We've seen a remarkable American comeback in this country. Manufacturing jobs, 740,000 new manufacturing jobs, supply chains coming back home, the CHIPS and Science Act, the most significant environmental agenda and policies in American history. I mean, we're making progress, more energy independent than we ever have in our lifetime. So we were set up to dominate in the next decade, 2 and 3. But the opportunity is exactly right. There's been inflation scars. That's real. She's got to acknowledge that. And obviously that's going to be a big part of this debate, the issue of economy, but the issue of cost of living. And she has taken that on as it relates to her policy agenda, her focus, and that's the compelling future. That's where she can turn the page on the last few years and talk about things that Joe Biden, as the incumbent president, cannot. And that, again, is the opportunity as well this evening.
And when Donald Trump is pressed on specifics, he accomplishes something that not many can say they have. The ability to speak unopposed for several minutes, saying a whole lot of words while saying absolutely nothing at all.
When you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it.
Childcare is childcare. You have to have it. Childcare is childcare.
I applaud at the end. After he's like falling all over, he does a Simone Biles dismount. MAGA.
But Willie, what the hell was he saying?
No, but I'm saying he sounded...
Is he okay?
He doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's coming from a guy who didn't raise his own kids.
Yeah, that's the one where you go, you know what? I actually didn't read the book. May I present on Monday?
Maybe like grandma or grandpa wants to help out a little bit more. Or maybe there's an aunt or uncle that wants to help out a little bit more. If that happens, you relieve some of the pressure on all the resources that we're spending in daycare.
Grandma and grandpa, they're so much cheaper than childcare. Why didn't we think of that?
It sounds like he wakes up every single day and says, how many women can I piss off today? It just shows that neither he nor Donald Trump have any understanding of the very real needs that people are experiencing when they pay thousands of dollars every month. And it shows that they are not considering any substantive solution.
But don't worry, Fox News will try to spin that.
Perhaps some of those things like Mike Rowe talks about, those tough jobs that are paying a lot of money. Harris, free universal preschool for 4-year-olds. President Trump asked about it last week. Look, a lot of people on the conservative side say the federal government has no need to get involved in this. He did say last week that he would use tariffs to offset those child care costs. And then this.
Well, I think we just make it very clear. Tariffs add to the price of goods.
And we can expect a lot more of this evening. And if you're in the mood for a wee preview, here's what CNN's Keith Boykin outlined last night regarding debate topics and the differentiation between both candidates.
Let's look at the issues here. I mean, abortion, you talk about that issue. Donald Trump has been on every side of the abortion issue in the past month. He's even switched his opinion on the amendment in Florida. Look at the border. Donald Trump has no credibility in the border issue because he was the one who killed the border deal, and border crossings are lower now than they were when he left office. He can't talk about crime because, you know what? He's a convicted felon, and crime went up when he was president and went down under Biden. He can't talk about defense because you know why? Because he wouldn't defend America on January 6th. He can't talk about the economy because we lost 2.7 million jobs when Donald Trump was president, and we gained 15.6 million jobs with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So on every single issue, don't even talk about family values because this is a guy who slept with a porn star and paid hush money to do so. I mean, this guy has no credibility for all the issues that Republicans said that they believed in for decades.
Damn! A sentiment that was echoed on Fox and Friends of all places, so if Donald Trump happened to miss the ad above, we'll make sure to splice it into this segment again for his viewing pleasure. Take it away.
Ian Sams. Ian, thank you very much for joining us. Is she nervous?
She's ready. I mean, I think she's been looking forward to this debate. It's an opportunity for both she and former President Trump to explain to the country what it is they want to do as president. And there'll be a clear contrast on that stage. I think that Vice President Harris represents the future. She wants to turn the page on the past. She represents a new way forward for this country, where Donald Trump represents something old, something stale, something that people are ready to move on from. I think, he'll have to answer for some of his positions. Why all of a sudden is he for no taxes on tips when his administration tried to take tips away from tip workers and give it to their bosses? Why is he changing his position on an abortion ban in Florida 2 times within a 24-hour span? I mean, these are the kind of things that Donald Trump's going to have to answer for, to explain to the country. And I think he's going to have to figure out for just a few minutes during this debate whether he can talk about anything other than himself. I think he wants to spend more time complaining about her crowd sizes compared to his.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes.
Ian? Then talking about the issues that really matter to the American people. And so that's what the vice president's going to do. She's going to talk about her plans to lower people's costs, her plans to take on grocery prices, her plans to build more housing in this country so that housing can be more affordable for people. So those are the things that she's going to be talking about in this debate. I think it'll be interesting to see what President Trump talks about.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.